Hello my darlings, before this video starts I just needed to talk about something. I filmed this video before leaving for Thailand and well, here I am in my hotel room. I have some unfortunate news that I did not end up getting bottom surgery. It was unfortunately postponed by at least 6 months, so any reference I make to having it in this video obviously didn't come true. I will make a video to talk about my experience eventually, but for now, this context was just needed just so this video didn't mislead people. I still wanted to publish it though because I think it does have some useful information and I hope it helps someone. But on that unfortunate note, I hope you enjoy the video. It's finally here. By the time you see this, my body will have been irreversibly changed from bottom surgery. This is a moment that I've dreamt about, something that seemed like it would never come true, but yet, here I am. I can't tell you how I feel about my new body parts right now because the surgery's still a week away for me. However, what I can do is talk about how I feel right now and how I got here. So let's do that. Hello my darlings and welcome to my little corner of the internet where I demystify the trans experience through my own life and discoveries. If you haven't seen it already, I actually already made a video of how I came to the conclusion that I wanted this surgery in the first place. So for this video, I'll be focusing more on the process of actually applying for the surgery, the upfront costs, and anything else I can think of. Now, before I start, I do want to say that I am in a privileged position where I am able to afford this surgery and do have people that will support me during my trip and recovery. This surgery should be free and accessible for all those who desire it, without needing to wait years on waiting lists. My heart goes out to all those who don't have access, who don't have the means, or are on waiting lists longer than what is reasonable. I really do hope it gets better. Now without further ado, on to the information. I am getting, or well, will have had, my bottom surgery with the Suporn Clinic performed by Dr. Bank on the 21st of November 2025. This clinic is highly regarded and therefore highly sought over. For this reason, they use a lottery system to allocate dates, with the lottery opening up about 10 months in advance. To enter the lottery, you must fill out a client profile and send it to the clinic via email. This profile contains your personal details, your medical history including any cosmetic surgeries, as well as a little bit about your transition. So I filled out my profile and sent it in an email on the 16th of January 2025 when the clinic opened up the surgery dates for November and the beginning of 2026. I was actually still in Thailand with Fairy Princess Lucy following her bottom surgery when I did this. Then, on the 3rd of February, I received news from the clinic that I'd been provisionally offered a date and would need to send a 20% deposit within 2 weeks to reserve it. I used the service Wise to pay the deposit and it arrived without issue a few days later, receiving a confirmation email saying that I would have to pay the remaining balance at least 30 days before the surgery date. And with that, the reservation was made. Along with that confirmation email, there was also a list of policies and requirements to follow. There's a few, so I'll cycle them on the screen if you're interested, but the main one that I want to talk about because I had issues with it was this one. You are required to obtain one referral letter from a psychiatrist or a clinical/licensed psychologist. My psychologist at the time refused to write me one, stating that it would go against his role of remaining unbiased in my life decisions. He believed that by writing that letter, he would be taking a stance on what he believed would be beneficial for my life, or something along those lines. Needless to say, I spent several months reaching out to psychologists and psychiatrists in my local area without any luck. Either they were fully booked or they didn't have any experience with transgender patients and therefore did not feel comfortable writing a referral letter. Looking for a solution, I emailed the clinic asking if a referral letter from the sexologist who diagnosed me with gender dysphoria and referred me for HRT would suffice. Unfortunately, I was told that there was a good chance that it wouldn't. In the end, through a lot of research, I found a psychologist who is licensed in Brazil who is very experienced with writing these letters and booked an online appointment with her. She was lovely and the appointment went very smoothly without any issues. However, it was more expensive than I was expecting. I did later find out that there is the option to see a second psychologist in Thailand in the stay before your surgery for this referral letter. This would have likely have been cheaper, but it's essentially leaving that referral letter right to the last minute, so I don't regret paying a bit more and getting it confirmed just to ease my anxiety. Then that was kind of it for a while. The surgery didn't contact me again until the 29th of August when they sent me information about the next steps. In this email, I received a timetable detailing what my stay would look like, including the latest date I could arrive, 3 days before the surgery, the earliest date I could leave, as well as the recommended date to leave. I was also given a list of rooms that I could reserve at the clinic's partner hotel, The Rat. You must stay in this hotel for the 3 days leading up to your surgery and your recovery. I was equally asked to provide my passport, to book my flights if I hadn't done already, and to send them my flight information so they could organise transport. I also had to inform them of any support people that will be accompanying me, as well as their flight information, but not their passports. And finally, they prompted me to add them as a friend on a messaging app called Line. After which they sent me the most adorable and what can only be described as boomercore messages. They've since used this app to confirm my travel information as well as to send me the times for my pre-op class, my physical examination, my consultation with Dr. Bank, and my admission to hospital. This app will also be used to more easily communicate with the clinic whilst I'm in Thailand. As a quick aside for the financial part, the surgery itself cost me 650,000 Thai baht, and the cost for the hotel for 31 nights and a breakfast for 2 each morning cost me 44,950 Thai baht. However, I did choose the cheapest room, but there are more expensive and more spacious rooms available. On top of this, there is then obviously my flight costs, money transfer fees, as well as the money that I will be spending for food and other things whilst I'm out in Thailand. These costs will vary from person to person. Outside of anything official, I did end up finding a community-run Discord server for patients and support people of the Suporn Clinic. It requires a confirmed surgery date to join, but it really has been an incredible resource. From pre-op advice recommending what to bring to what good vegetarian options exist in Thailand to post-op questions and answers, basically everything is covered. It also provides a platform for people who are in the hospital or hotel to easily communicate and support one another. Organising what times to meet up, letting people know when nurses are leaving rooms, to pretty much anything. Despite the massive physical and mental toll the surgery is going to take, I'm looking forward to meeting some of those people that I've already connected with on Discord. I am excited for the Chonburi experience and community. And as for my feelings around the surgery itself, I can't say that I'm that worried. Dr. Bank has done thousands of these, and worrying about it isn't going to change the outcome. It is for sure more the recovery that I'm worried about. I've been doing my best to be somewhat active to make sure that I'm in a healthy place to tackle it, but I'm still so worried that it's going to affect my plans for next year. I've also had a few dreams surrounding bottom surgery, but none have been focused on the surgery itself or the results. Instead, they've been focused on my worries around not having enough support or ending up being isolated during my recovery. It is also possible that me being so stressed and worried about moving and everything else hasn't given me the headspace to worry about bottom surgery itself. Regardless, I'm still doing my best to focus on what I can control. I've eased some of my worries about recovery by deciding to return to the UK to stay with my family, where I will have more direct access to support whilst my mobility is limited. And I have done my best to make sure that the 3 months following the surgery, the recommended recovery period, are as free as they can be, so I can just focus fully on recovery. But I suppose my recovery will be a topic for a later video. And I think that's just about it. I do hope that this has given you a clearer idea of the process leading up to bottom surgery and what to expect. I am planning to make videos about my experience in Thailand as well as the recovery afterwards, but in the meantime, if you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. In addition to future videos, I'm also thinking about keeping a diary of my recovery and releasing it as I go to YouTube members and Patreons. Right now, I haven't fully made up my mind, but check the pinned comment and you'll see my decision. I really do hope that by getting this information out there, it can help you better prepare for bottom surgery. Whether that be you figuring out what savings you need to make, what preparations you need to do in general, or even just giving you a clear idea of if this is what you want. It is valid if you don't want bottom surgery, but for those who do, I really hope you're able to access it, and I really do wish you the best. Thank you for making it to the end of the video, and this is unfortunately my last video that has been filmed in Quebec. This does mean that I don't have any videos prepared before my return from Thailand, which means roughly a month before the next video. I am really sorry about the delay, but with the stress of moving and a full-time job, I just wasn't able to prepare enough videos in time. However, I will be doing my best to keep active on Blue Sky as well as post here on YouTube, so keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, it would mean the world to me if you liked this video and subscribed with the bell so you are notified when I do make my return. Until then, take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.